Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new episode of Ready to Love Season 4 Reunion Part 1. Alright, y'all. Listen. First of all, let me just preface this by saying, Amber, I'm still side-eyeing you. Definitely the wardrobe, okay? But I'm going to go on apologize to you because I thought Ron was going to out you and he ain't out you. But we going to get into it as we get into it, okay? If you are new here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Let's get into it if we going to get into it. Listen, this is the thing. Kyra wants Jason. Jason wants Liz. AJ want what he can't have. Ron want to keep up mess. Alexis want whoever will have her. And I want them to get some stylists and some wigologists. But let's continue. So we see all the singles there in the back looking at these fashions, honey. Oh, my God. Then we hear David in the back sounding like Eddie Kane talking about, I got drip the sale. I got drip the sale. And in my mind, all I could hear was Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. I was like, shut up, David. Shut up, okay? Because you know I can't stand David, honey. Was that you getting in front of the enemy or what? Child, oh my goodness. So then we see everybody else back there doing whatever it is they doing. Ida putting on her individuals, honey. I'm like, girl, if you don't get that taken care of beforehand. So all the singles are back. And so Tommy starts off by saying, you know, tonight we're going to find out what happened when the cameras were down. And honey, that's what we really care about, right? So they show the final four couples, and I was wondering why they put AJ and Kyra together because they're not really a couple, but I guess these are the four couples that made it to the end, right? So then Tommy asked them, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, why did you guys do it? Why did you decide to take this leap, you know, and do the show? So then Liz said, look, after 17 years, don't you think I should have did it? I'm like, I know that's right, honey. Got to hurry up before the well runs dry. So then Jason pipes up and he's like, look, I kept picking the same girls over and over and it wasn't working for me. So I felt like I needed to choose someone different. And y'all know what? When he said that, I felt like he was talking about Kyra. Because I feel like Kyra may have been his normal type, but Liz is the woman that he needs. Liz is the woman that's going to make it to the altar and have them little cute babies. Oh my God, I can't wait to see it. So then they go into the first segment and they show KG's experience, right? Ron hating on KG. You know, they showed little flashbacks or whatever. Just because he said that Flower Child was unavailable. Child, everybody said that. I wish they would have rolled that part back as well. So Tommy said, well, what made you come back? Y'all asked him. I'm like, what? When he said that, I said, what made him come back? Honey, you asked him. You asked and you received. So anywho, he said, yeah, you know, I just wanted to find my queen. You know, last time, you know how things turned out. It didn't go so well. So this time I wanted to do things a little different. And Amber and KG are giving very much king and queen of Zamunda. Child, I was looking at them. I'm like, what is happening? Child, it was a little bit of Zamunda mixed in with a little bit of Lion King. Child, where's Eddie Murphy? Child, okay, so anyway, so he was saying that, you know, last time he put all of his eggs in one basket and that didn't really work out for him, so he decided to try something different. And in my mind, I was thinking, it seems like you put all your eggs in one basket over here as well, but I guess this basket was willing to hold your eggs, so that's fine. So, you know, he said that the brunch is what made him choose Amber. After they went to the brunch, then he realized that she was the one, right? So then Tommy says, well, let's look at the undeniable Kyra. Child, don't put too much zhuzh on it, okay? Let's get into it as we get into it. So they show a never-before scene with Kyra getting her love and basketball on with David. And then we see Fly say that Kyra was playing checkers, chess. You know, she's very calculated. She's an attorney, and she doesn't really know what her motives are. Now, ordinarily, I would have been like, all right, Fly, that's enough, okay? Because y'all know now I call her Alexis. But in my mind, I was thinking, you know what, Alexis, you sure right, honey, because we really do not know what her motives are. She's still hemming and hawing to this day. Do y'all hear me? Tommy said, well, Kyra, you know, how did you feel about being chosen by all the men? So she said, yeah, you know, it was uncomfortable because it put a target on my back. And she's like, I feel like that was the breakdown of me and Jason's relationship. Girl, you still talking about Jason? Oh my God, please give it up, honey. And Liz in the back looking like, he's mine, yeah, may I had him once, but I got him all the time. You can't sleep at night. Shout out to Moke and Steph. I know that's right, Liz, honey. Sit back with your little bouffant, honey. Sit back real tall with your little eardrop earrings, child, and just watch Kyra break all the way down. So she was like, yeah, I feel like that was the breakdown. No, that wasn't the breakdown. The breakdown was you playing a game of cat and mouse and he chose Liz. Girl. So then Tommy said, well, did you have a problem with how Kyra played the game? Talking to Alexis. And she was like, I just feel like she was saying one thing and then doing another because I was trying to figure out how all the men were choosing her. So Kyra was like, well, you need to ask them, not me. Well, you didn't end up with either one of them, so we don't really care. Girl, goodbye. Baby, the girls are huffing, okay? Huffing and puffing and having a little bit of a tizzy, okay? So then Tommy says, you wouldn't have known about the shift if somebody in my lounge didn't say something. So then the producers pan over to Ron, child, and then we about to get into the mess. Baby, that Ron is a messy boots. Do y'all hear me? Child, so then they take a break. But in the back, we hear Kyra piping up talking about, every time it's a mess, it's Ron. He tried to talk to me before the show and I didn't want him. I don't like Tom. I don't like Ron. I have nothing for him. And he's salty because of that. Child, Kyra was acting real southwest side of Houston. Honey, if you're from Houston, you know exactly what I'm talking about, honey. And not the nice part of the Southwest. I'm talking about Bissonnette and whatnot. So when they return, we see Tressa and we realize that she's not there. Now, let me just be honest. I didn't even realize that Tressa was not there. I was like, she not there? But okay. So we get a little, video chat from her. And she says, she's still looking for love, still positive, still beautiful. And she had a positive COVID test, so that's why she's not there. Well, honey, you ain't missing nothing because, child, they are acting a fool all the way up and through. So then we talk to Mr. Postman. Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. We talk to Christian and Khalil, and we talk about their 5 minutes on the show, right? So Tommy said, Khalil, what do you think happened? He said, I probably shouldn't have worn what I wore. Yeah, honey, that PTA fit was a fool. No, you should not have worn it. And if you did wear that, you should have ironed it. Moving forward. So Christian said, yeah, I've been on a few dates and, I've been talking to somebody on the show. And Tommy was like, who? He said, Andrea. Child, she looked like she was shocked. She looked like she didn't know she had been talking to you. Because I was looking at that and I said, did she know? So she's like, yeah, we've been talking, but just no dates. And they were like, well, what you waiting on? So then Tommy said, are you going to ask her? He was like, now. Yes, Christian, now, honey, speak your speech. See, this is what I'm saying. They got to tell you to ask her for a date. That's why you were gone in 60 seconds last time. Child, so then he pipes up and asks her, and she paused for a little too long for my liking, but she did say yes. So, child, I guess that's a win. Then we hear Khalil say, so Tommy asked Khalil if he's talking to anybody or dating anyone. So Khalil said, I've been talking to Ida. Baby, but what he say that for? Ida said, we didn't discuss that we were going public. Baby, Ida said, call me a stock option. I ain't ready to go public. Let me tell y'all something. Ida is a nut. Do y'all hear me? When she said, we didn't discuss we were going public, I was like, oh, honey, I'd have said, look, don't attach yourself to me, child. I am a free agent. So Tommy said, is there something to go public about? So then this is what made me realize that she wasn't playing with Khalil. And I'm sure they never talked again after this reunion. So then she said, I asked him if I could say anything. And he said, no. Sir, you should have been happy Ida B. Wells wanted to be bothered. I'm just saying, child. So now we see Ron, right? So Tommy told Khalil, he said, say something nice about the lady. He's like, she's beautiful, this and that. Honey, it's too late. We don't want to hear it, honey. And Ida was rolling her eyes and rolling them lashes all the way to the back of her head because she cannot be bothered as well. Moving forward. So now we get to the mess. Here goes Ron. So we see Ron and, why all the women liked him, I'm not sure because y'all know how I have felt about Ron throughout the duration of this show. So they show his time on the show or whatever. Then we see the part where Alexis was eliminating him. So after they play that clip, Tommy said, that is not how you talk to a lady. And Ron said, that was about AJ, because he turns on the charm right before eliminations, but pager dust any other time. Well, we don't care, little Lispy. We care about the way that you spoke to her when you were being eliminated. That's what we care about. So then Tommy said, well, what I'm hearing is you getting eliminated and saying, I thought you were smarter than that. And this is my thing as I'm looking at it. I'm like, so is it the editing or no? Like, is it the editing or are we being played? Because I always wondered why they keep saying, it's the editing, it's the editing. Well, you have to give them something to edit. To edit something means they take a little bit out and they piece some things together, but you're still saying what they are showing us. So anyway, so Tommy said, I just feel like you were being disrespectful. But Tommy, this is the thing. I want you to have that same energy for David and how he did Liz. Okay. I want you to keep that same energy moving forward. So then Alexis said, no, the way you heard it is the way I received it. So Tommy said, in 4 seasons, a man has never spoken to a woman like that. We have to be especially careful with our women. If it's nothing there between the two of you, that's fine. But this right here, it warrants an apology. Now, instead of Ron taking accountability, he says, well, as far as the convo and, I take accountability for the way that it went, but I kept getting jab after jab of my religion. So Alexis was like, how did I give you jab after jab? No answer. Okay, because you got nothing. Child, he's like, it should be on both parts. No, it shouldn't. Honey, I told y'all Ron was a trash can. So then Ron said, we were in each other's bottoms and that just came out of nowhere, right? So then Tommy said, well, we heard you tell Chrysanthemum that she was your number one. Chrysanthemum, are you buying any of this? And honey, Chrysanthemum sitting up there, honey, in her good shiny synthetic wig. And she was like, no, because it's not making any sense. And okay, it's not. Okay, I'm glad somebody said it. She was like, I met your mom. Baby, Tommy leaned back. He said, she met your mama? That was so funny to me because Tommy came completely out of character. So here go Ron. Because baby, Ron is a snake. Okay. So Ron said, yeah, we were near where she was and I figured that her and my mom would get along. And yeah, so I just invited her. So Alexis was like, wow, I thought we were locked in and she met your mom? And this is the man that y'all liked? Okay, child, I know it was slim pickings, but I don't care how many pickings it was or whatever. I would not have looked at Ron. Child, we could have kept Khalil and his parent-teacher conference outfit for all of that. So then Tommy said, well, let's look at some of the most outrageous moments of the season. Then we see Ron tell Alexis that he kissed Amber. Then he's like, yeah, we're going to continue dating after this. And, I know she's dating KG, but I can win that over. I told y'all Donkey Kong couldn't be trusted. And what is your heart on for KG? Why do you keep worrying about this man? Honey, you're giving very much petty boots. Child, your slip is showing. Oh, my goodness. So then we see where Alexis addresses it with Amber, right? Tommy said, so now you throwing jabs. So Ron said, well, I didn't know Alexis kissed AJ. Amber was in my top 3 and we went on many dates. Amber said, many dates? A couple. She said, no, we haven't. He said, okay, 1. Boy, how did you go from many down to 1? Lies. Okay. The lies in my candy voice. Child, goodbye. So Ron, honey, you need help. Okay, you are a petty liar and you getting caught up in all your lies, honey. So then Amber said, you haven't been a man this entire process. You lied saying we were going on several dates. We were going to date after this show. You lied about the kids. And I'm sure there's other people here who can say some things that you've lied about as well. Everybody was sitting there looking hush mouth. And I'm like, I know that's right, honey. A big old liar. And Amber, my apologies once again. So then Tommy said, well, when you kissed Amber, were you in the midst of Alexis? He said, no, we were done. So then poor Alexis, listen, baby, honey, sweetheart, because this has happened several times throughout the reunion. When a man says that it's over, okay? Don't let him have to tell you more than once that he does not want you. And not only verbally, but also in the way that he behaves. If he's saying to you, no, we were done, then guess what? You were done. Because she's like, no, I felt like, if things had went better, I felt like we could have continued to talk. After you had eliminated him and realized he was not ready to love you, were willing to date him yet again? Oh, child, let's do the work, child. So during commercial break, we hear Amber saying, any other mess that happens is all Ron. Meanwhile, Ron out in the hallway lying to Jason saying, I'm the victim. Alexis cheated on me. Boy, how did she cheat on you on a dating show when you were also dating around? Ron, you unstable, honey. And that's just the bottom line, honey. You're unstable. So poor Jason's sitting there looking just as crazy and stressed. Looking like, how did me and my diamond necklace get back here trapped with Ron, honey? Oh, Jason, I'm sorry for you, honey. So Jason said, listen, at this point, all we can do is just own up to what we did wrong. Ron turns right around and says, well, what am I supposed to do? Boy, exactly what he said. Own up to your part of it and take accountability. Child, let's move on. So Jason, baby, go on out there and sit next to Liz and leave Ron alone. Honey, he is a lost cause. In the next segment, Tommy shows us what brotherhood looks like. We see all the men, showing us their hearts and turning on the waterworks, and we love to see it. Okay, Joel said, I don't cry all the time, but, I'm sensitive. You heard me? Joel, I really don't want to hear nothing from you. You heard me? Because the way that this preview looks for part 2, you done did Vernisha all the way wrong. Okay? We knew you were going to do it, but it's different when it actually comes to pass. Moving forward. So then we revisit thing 1 and thing 2, a.k.a. freaking frack, Stacy and Chrysanthemum, right? So Tommy said, well, what is it that y'all connected on? They said, we just get each other. Yeah, we're two mean girls and we just get each other. That's what I got from it. So then Tommy said, well, some of the men felt like, that y'all interfere with each other's, love life. So does that make sense? And so Chrysanthemum was like, I mean, yes and no. But then Stacy pipes up and says, it's a double standard because the men can have their gentleman's lounge and have their tight bonds. But as soon as we form a bond, then it's a problem. Well, Stacy, no, that's not true. The men are forming a bond, but yet they're not interfering with who each other is dating. You and Chrysanthemum were operating as one entity. You're two separate ladies. Okay, so you should have been operating on your own and she should have been operating on her own. Not y'all feeding off of each other's brains. It's totally different. So David said, well, we didn't know if we said anything, if our conversation would be shared. David, please, honey, you just trying to get in front of the enemy. You just want to make sure that whatever you say don't get back to somebody else, honey, because you like to lie. So Stacy said, I never shared anything that anyone said. We never shared text or anything like that. Child, so then AJ pipes up and he's like, yeah, I like them too, but I would also say I'll talk to you when you solo, because he knew that the two of them were always up under each other. So then we find out that Stacy and Chrysanthemum are both dating, but not each other. And I hope Chris doesn't wear this outre wig on her dates. Good luck, ladies. So then Tommy tells us about the love triangle that is AJ, Alexis, and Kyra. We see that fake kiss that he gave Alexis so she could stop buzzing around. And so Tommy said, how do you go from kissing Alexis to sending her home? AJ said the same way everybody else kissed. Now, let me tell you something. I had to go with him on that, because I didn't understand that question myself. I'm like, everybody else did it. Why should he be any different? Now, what was wrong is the fact that you had already made a choice and you played backseas. Now, that is where you were wrong. So Alexis said, it wasn't just the kiss that sealed it for me. It was him saying he was in the pursuit of me. AJ, being full of crap, says, any woman that I'm dating or talking to or whatever, I'm in the pursuit of them. Child, you probably don't even know what pursuit means, because y'all know AJ likes to make up words. I was being integrated. I need reassurance. Child, he doesn't know, okay? He doesn't know exactly what pursuit means. Okay, so don't hold it against him, Alexis. Let's go on, child. So Tommy said, well, why did you send her home? So then he said, well, why would I have her in the space with me when Ron was her number one? Boy, Ron had been gone. Child, try something else, because that is not going to work. So then Tommy said, but at that point, Ron was gone. AJ said, well, had he not acted the way he did, basically, had he not acted a fool, then the door would have still been open for him and Alexis to chit chat and whatnot. Now, Alexis did just say, had Ron not acted up, that maybe there could have been something, but you didn't know that. Okay, so just come on out and say that you just wanted to be with Kyra, who didn't really want to be with you. So then he said, look, I'm not going to be anybody's rebound. Should I tell him, or y'all want me to tell him? Okay, I'll tell him, y'all. AJ, child, honey, were you present? You were literally Kyra's rebound. Honey, she wanted Liz's man. Okay? If she went with you after that option was off the table. So you were her rebound. Child, okay. So Tommy said, well, I see she chose you. Ron pipes up Yeah, after that kiss, the whole vibe and everything just changed between us. Yeah, I'm sure it did, Ron. Pipe down, honey. AJ said, well, Ron, since you know you chiming in and everything, well, how do you feel like I treated her bad? AJ, you should have just sat there and ate your food, honey. You shouldn't even ask that question because this makes you look like a douchebag. So Ron proceeds to say, I was walking, I had this little thing in my house. I was walking Alexis to her car. And then AJ said to her, look, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. He was like, go ahead and go upstairs. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, what I was picturing as he was telling this story is a house party that's kind of smoky. You know those 1990s high school movies where the popular guy tells the girl that's not so popular to go upstairs and wait for him so they can make out, and then he leaves her upstairs with her braces on and he never comes back. That's what I was thinking. But anywho, he sent her on upstairs, child, never to return. Just like they sent Judy Winslow upstairs on Family Matters, and she never came back down. Child, I'm trying to Family Matters her, honey. So Tommy said, you were waiting upstairs for 2 hours? So Alexis was like, yeah. So then Tommy looks at AJ and he said, why didn't you go upstairs? He said, I was talking to the fellas. And he said, but she was upstairs. And then AJ said, yeah, sure. AJ is trash, honey. His mama said he never follows through, and I believe her. I think Kyra made the right choice. But let me explain something to you, Alexis. Girl, you could have taken a whole nap and woken up by the time he came up there. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You got a good 10 minutes with me. And 5 of those, I'm taking selfies. But once I realize that you haven't come upstairs and I check how many likes I got, I'm gone. Honey, you better be up there before I finish my selfies. I'm telling you right now. Then they switch over to him and Kyra, right? So they show his time with her and how he did backsies with the elimination and whatnot. So Tommy said, Alexis, did you know that he had chosen to send Kyra home, but then turned around and chose you? And so AJ said, yeah, I told her. So Alexis said, look, it was all a blur. I don't even remember. Yes, you do, honey, but that's okay. So then Tommy said, well, how did you choose Kyra? He said, listen, it was what you said. You said, who do you look at and think that's my girl? Who lights up a room when they enter? And that's Kyra. So then Tommy said, well, Kyra, what made you choose, AJ? Tommy should have said, what made you choose to pin that wig back? Child, I'm so tired of that recycled wig. Kyra, if you don't get some of that lawyer money and buy you another good wig, girl. Even Alexis done switched out the wig. Good job, Alexis. You looked beautiful. So anywho, so we go over here. Kyra said, yeah, I love hard. And, in my mind and in my heart, they were on Jason. But then, once I figured out that nothing was there with him, I'm like, when did she figure that out? Did we miss that? I'm confusion, child. Listen, she is AJ in a dress, honey. They need to get together and never expose anyone else to their foolery. That's all I'm going to say on that. So basically, she tried to sit up here and lie and say that she had, paid Jason dust and realized nothing was there with him and decided to open up more to AJ. So when she got to the end, she was thinking, do I really want to be with him? Because ain't no turning back. Lady, you are wearing me out. You are putting this pressure on yourself. There is turning back. If you don't like someone in real life, you can be done with them. It's okay. Girl, you're just using any old kind of excuse and you're still saying the same thing from months ago. So she was like, we continued to date and womp, 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 womp. Child, I wasn't even listening. So Tommy said, so y'all left dating? Where are y'all now, honey? Silence. Complete silence. So then Kyra said, listen, I had a trip out of the country and I made it a point to talk to AJ every single day. Basically trying to figure out, making sure look, I'm talking to you every day, so I'm just making sure I'm keeping tabs on you and what you're doing and whatnot. But I don't really want you because I really want somebody else. But you stay put because when I get back, I'm going to need you to chase me some more. That's basically what she was doing. She was like, when I got back, Alexis called me and was like, hey, girl, I know you've been in Dubai and whatnot, but me and AJ been on a couple of dates and whatnot. So she said that Alexis let her know that they had been hanging out. So Alexis said, look, I didn't know he was dating Kyra with the intent to be with her. But for my birthday, he called me. He said he wanted to take me out one-on-one. We kissed and I have the pictures to prove it. I'm like, not you taking kissing selfies. Oh, Alexis, honey. So AJ said, we were dating, not committed. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't know what y'all were doing. So Alexis said, I wouldn't have went on the date with him had I known about Kyra. So then Tommy said, so who do you want? He said, it's not Alexis. Okay, listen to me. Y'all gonna lay off Alexis, okay? Don't say it like that, honey. She was good enough to date. She was good enough to play this little game with, but then you just piping up like somebody, like you just are disgusted by all things Alexis. Don't do that. I didn't like that at all. And Alexis was like, well, the feeling is mutual. You know, we don't talk to each other. I really don't like how these men are treating Alexis on this reunion. Honey, I'm getting ready to have attitude. So then he said, you know, we left the show not dating. And then when she went out of town, she wanted me to be right where I was when she left. Okay, honey, like the lapdog that you pretended to be throughout the season. Okay. Listen, Kyra likes to be chased, point blank in the period, honey. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Honey, you're going to end up losing both Liz's man and, because y'all know I done changed his name to Liz's man. Did y'all notice that, honey? He's no longer Jason. He's Liz's man. You're going to end up losing Liz's man and AJ and his bald head. So Tommy asked Kyra about AJ. She's still looking confused. Child, she was like, so how do you feel about AJ? And scene. Oh my goodness. Then we see in the hallway Vernisha talking to Kyra saying, you know, you leaving and going out of town, they don't give him free range to just date her. And, you know, because we building towards something. Vern, honey, save it for yourself, okay? Kyra plays games. So don't hate the player, hate the game. Child, and that was the end of the reunion part 1. It really gave something, but it really didn't give nothing. But we got into it as we got into it. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Child, let's move on over to put a ring on it, because I think this episode is going to be good. Meet me back here for part 2 of the reunion. Don't hesitate to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.